What is going on, buddy?
Hello.
It is Pixelminders here, and welcome back to Last Defense Academy. When we left off,
Don't worry, you're on the right part.
You are,
right
don't worry.
episode.
As alluded to in the last part, we went through that battle off camera, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. So we led back in with our newest decision. We had a smorgasbord, old charcuterie board of endings last time. Pretty much of every wrong decision you can make.
Yeah.
In the timeline that we were in. How long this one goes for, we're not sure, but we did get our prime ending of getting us and our surviving friends into the escape pod and going up to the satellite that we don't get to see what happens up there because it's going to be hidden away from us for a long time. But now we're way back in the early days where Yugamu first was teaming up with us potentially to where we say, no!
No!
It's Allie's worst nightmare right now.
It is!
But let's see what this leads us to. This does keep us from our whole fucking darkness trope that we were going through there, but sorry, I can't team up with you. I was convinced Yugamu had to be plotting something given that he went out of his way to approach me after I'd been ostracized. And you know what? You're right. He was plotting something, we learned. The things he usually talked about already made me uneasy. Probably just wanted to torment me for his own amusement.
He didn't want to torment.
Not that.
Though.
Oh, for the love of me, to get the counter on that one. You're a cautious one, aren't you, Takumi? Turning me down is as good as having a death wish, you know. Unless you have someone else in mind. No, I'm not going to team up with anyone. I'll survive by myself. So stop following me. This is us when we were ostracized, so no one will, we're gonna die.
He was literally like, leave me alone.
I ran and ran till I was nearly out of breath, trying to get away from Yugamu as quickly as I could. The thought that he might be trying to kill me struck fear into my heart.
If he wanted to kill you, he wouldn't have helped you.
But no matter how far I ran, I didn't feel safe. After all, I was up against a professional assassin.
Oh my god, he's so
continue
paranoid.
to run around with heedless abandon.
Oh my god. He's freaking out. He's crashing out.
Where am I? I realized I'd ended up in a place I'd never seen before. Where is this? Which direction is the school?
Oh my god.
I started looking around at my surroundings. All of a sudden, a huge swarm of school invaders popped out from the shadows. Of all the times to show up, I spun around and began to flee. Despite my best efforts, I was able to shake off the pursuing invaders. They kept coming after me relentlessly, trying to intimidate me with their weird cries the whole time. What are they, like the buzz? Like the buzz, go! Okay. I'd been running around for what felt like hours, but they were still hot on my tail. In fact, there were now even more invaders than before. And then, it finally happened. The invaders managed to completely surround me. I saw no way out, no way in.
No, I knew you were gonna do that.
The only thing I can do now is fight. But I can't possibly beat this many invaders by myself.
Somebody help me!
Well, too late for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Only if you come begging to me on your knees. Of course, it was pointless to call for help.
Yugamu, are you out there somewhere?
Oh my god.
He wouldn't come help me now. Not after I slapped away his offer to work together so thoughtlessly. Yeah, we just saw. Why did I turn down his offer to help? Alright, because I'd gotten so paranoid. I'd lost my mind after falling out of favor with everyone else. And took that frustration out on Yugamu. But all he really wanted was to save my life.
Literally.
It was too late for regrets. I was truly alone now. I hate that sound!
Yeah.
The invaders were getting more and more excited, like animals licking their lips before a big meal. They'd found me isolated from the others, and now they couldn't wait to start tearing me apart. Slowly and steadily, they inched closer. And the closer they got, the stronger the smell of death became. My breathing quickened, my body was trembling. I instinctively understood that this was the end. As I looked death in the face, I finally understood how powerless someone who was completely isolated could be. Somebody who had lost the trust of others, who had lost the ability to trust others.
Damn.
Great scream.
Yeah. Well.
Somebody like that was already as good as dead.
Ba-dum-bum.
Well, another one in the books.
As good as dead.
All right. But I feel like that is the end of all of this stuff going, because this here launches up a good bit right here. So this seems to be an entirely different thing from
The killing game.
And it says here, this is kind of the beginning of the killing game route. Because we said, let's join.
Yeah, let's play the game.
Join the Invader Hunt. And now we're going to piss off Darby and say, no, ma'am. We say no, ma'am to that. And now this should be a whole new storyline plot that we're going to be locked into for quite a while, I feel. So we're going to go over here, not start a day, go right before the decision. And we say no, we're not going to participate. Now, how's that going to play out exactly?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, as I skip forward a bit, if all of these necessarily truly connect, or if we say no, is that not going to activate the sponsor, if that makes sense? Like, will this become a whole new branch of the story?
Yeah.
Where, like, because we said yes, that created the sponsor, created everything, but maybe saying no here brings us down a different line, because this would not be the killing game anymore. So there's no need to introduce the sponsor anymore. Which we never really found out the identity of the original sponsor to begin with. We only found the replacement.
We just know that it was
successor.
A corpse inside.
Yeah. And how exactly that was working,
we don't know.
we don't necessarily know. Though there could be information behind that on this route here. We'll have to see. But only way to tell is by moving forward. Because it's your future.
Guys, here's what I think. I'm not going to join this Invader Hunt thing.
Right, of course not. Wait, no, that's what he's saying. So it's reverse psychology. We have to join now.
Oh my God.
Everyone willingly joins.
A rational decision.
I hope you can all follow my lead in this. Oh my, I have to fucking get back into all the voices that. And fucking Gaku. Wait, he's still not here.
He's dead.
He's dead in this one still.
Yeah.
But, God damn it. But Shoma's here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know I will.
There's nothing to be afraid of if we all reject it together. Ugh. Hey, don't speak for everyone just yet.
I mean, Darmy could go fucking apeshit on this top line. Who knows?
I have to.
Hey, Kurata! She dies today. Tomorrow, if we don't do this. Hey.
What? You mean you're joining? Of course. I'll never get a chance to live out my fantasies like this again. Besides, the name Invader Hunt makes the game sound like it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm with Takumi on this one. You'll find me playing that game over my dead body.
Hey now, no.
I get flashbacks. This Invader Hunt is just the culprit trying to trick us into believing it'll be fun, but it's clearly stated on the blackboard that this is a killing game. God, yeah, Kyoshka too. I had to say it a little bit in the battlefield, but the recording said as much too.
I'll follow Takumi's lead as well. It's against my artistic principles to kill for entertainment. This message don't make sense anyway. Sponsor said those not in the game will be eliminated, but we'd still get eliminated sooner or later if we did join.
Don't be stupid. Nobody has to die if we win, right?
Well, about that.
Darmy, are you listening to yourself? Huh?
She never does.
You're taking this I love killing games persona a little too far, aren't you? I am not. I'm just saying what I really think.
Darby's pigtails swayed as she vigorously shook her head in denial. But there was definitely some uncertainty in her eyes.
Oh, yeah?
What about you, Hirokuro? You're alive now again, too. You haven't said anything yet.
Either choice is fine with me. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not interested in this game at all. I am, however, interested in finding out the sponsor's identity. They'll make their move eventually, whether we join this silly game or not.
That's when we'll swoop in and bring that sicko down, right?
That's more or less what I was thinking. Then we have an answer.
Yes, we're not going to join the Invader Hunt. Darmy, you don't mind, do you?
I do mind, but it's not like I can play a killing game by myself. Fine, I'll go with the majority.
I'm so sorry, girl. Oh, man. After that, we decided to stay together until the stipulated time.
Stipulation.
We didn't know what might happen, and there was always the possibility the sponsor is actually one of us. Staying together meant we could prevent the sponsor from trying anything. I didn't tell anyone about that second reason, though. I all seemed convinced the sponsor was an outsider who had infiltrated the school. Also, we never figured out anything about the fucking goddamn syringe in the neck.
Yeah.
That we then lost our memory from and fucking started having weird alternate moments where we were not there at all. Gaps of time.
Full days. Yeah.
Well, they were acting like they went. They were acting like they thought that anyway. The sky turned dark as we whiled our time away.
Come on, you can read.
Finally, it was 7 p.m. The time mentioned on the voice recorder. That was when I threw the door to the leisure lounge open. Why are you going in there? Not because I wanted to join the game, of course. I was there to declare as team leader that none of us would be joining. Everyone else stood outside just in case. Okay. Turning around, I could see the others trying to peer in through the door, which was slightly ajar. There was nobody inside the room. Not even a faint presence. After looking around, I lifted my head to the ceiling and shouted. Hey, are you there? Can you see me? I'm here to tell you none of us will be joining your stupid Invader Hunt. No response at all? All right, Burger King, have it your way.
I knew you were going to do that.
That's all I wanted to say. Have a bad night.
Bad night.
After that cold farewell, I turned around. It was Sans, you know.
I know, but why?
Because, like, you're going to have a bad time. After that cold farewell, I turned around and stepped out of the leisure lounge. Well, that's where my brain went, okay? It's probably because we're playing fucking Deltarune right now, so I'm fucking brain rotting and tilted, so.
Oh boy, you really said it! And after the sponsor said they'd kill us all if we refused to play the game. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, will we be okay? Gaku got killed last time we did this.
But that killer fled and went outside the wall of fire, right?
Yeah?
Most likely, yeah. That's why the sponsor of this game probably isn't one of us. Kako even said this morning that the handwriting was different this time. I can't be completely sure because they used spray paint. If the sponsor wasn't the one who killed Gaku, there's also the possibility this entire thing was just a prank.
Just a prank, bro.
So we need not be unnecessarily shaken. That's if the sponsor wasn't the killer. The truth of the matter remains to be seen.
Everybody fell momentarily silent after that. I was saying it from the get-go that Gaku's killer was not the sponsor.
Yeah.
And the sponsor never claimed Eito never claimed Gaku's murder in the end.
Yeah.
Wasn't part of his MO. Question, what's the plan for tonight?
Plan?
Our sleeping arrangements. Where should we all spend the night? I'm definitely sleeping in my dear sister's room. I'll stay with Takamaru. No way. What? I don't trust Takami. You don't trust Takami even after he saved my life. Yumi are through, man.
Ooh.
This is back
That's right.
before he flip-flopped a second time.
This is when Takamaru was on our side.
Yeah, this is when he distrusted at first, but he got brought back because we saved his life in the fight.
Yeah.
And we recovered for fucking 20 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Sukuma twins aside, why don't we sleep in our own rooms like normal? Just lock the door and you'll be fine. That's weird.
What?
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
I agree. There are 13 people here. Making everyone sleep in pairs would leave one person out. Alright, but why not put that person with one of the other pairs?
Oh.
We should avoid having 3 people in one room. It's too risky. Risky? Why? Not again. Our team's already discussed this to death. Now and I have to repeat myself?
Despite her complaint, Hiruko carefully explained to those from the other academy that we decided having 3 people in a room together was a bad idea. That does make sense.
We should all go back to our own rooms then. No, you just triggered the mother of all death flags. You don't even know it. Well, anything to spice things up around here.
That decided, we all returned to our own rooms to sleep after dinner. Ima insisted on sleeping in Kako's room, but nobody protested on that point. We never do.
Nope. He'd probably stab one of us if we tried to stop him.
Don't you dare get between me and my sister, dearest!
Haven't heard this in a while.
Yeah, it has been a little bit.
Shine! Get ready
for your 26th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy.
We've probably
Last
heard that one
Defense Academy.
by now. But
Oh, my eyes.
in the morning, I headed to the cafeteria for breakfast, only to find that everyone else was already there. Everyone? Okay,
Oh.
good. No one died. Let's rock.
1, 3, 9. Oh my, how is it that I count 14 souls? Because you're terrible at math. There are only 13 people here. You see, nothing bad happened. So it's just a prank after all? But by who?
Well, they want to get you comfortable so you fall into a lull so they can fucking get you while you're too cozy.
False sense of security?
Yep. And for what purpose? If you're asking me, I think the most likely suspect is... We all turn to look at Darmy.
Wait a minute, you're accusing me of being the game's sponsor? I don't think so. Darmy doesn't have the guts to pull off something like that. You underestimate me. I may not have guts, but I still got my brain meats. They're small and overpowered, but they're all the same.
Oh, for the love of murder.
Hey, can we just be happy that nothing happened?
Please excuse me for exposing you to my foul-smelling dumpster breath, but why don't we all have breakfast together? After breakfast, we all headed off to do our own things, relieved that nothing bad had happened after all. As for me, I went back to my room. Almost immediately, a visitor came knocking. I opened the door to find Tsubasa standing outside. Well, this is all in a timeline where no magic ever happened.
Yeah.
Did something happen? Not our magic.
You asked about Eva's mask yesterday, remember? I brought it here for you.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for the trouble. I took the mask from her.
What are you going to do with that?
I was thinking of returning it to Eva.
What, you trust her now?
Not really. It's just...
Oh, I know. You fell in love with her.
Definitely not. What? Of course not. I fell in love with... Tsubasa's narrowed her eyes at me and I felt my palms get sweaty.
Knees weak. Arms spaghetti. Never mind, it's none of my business. Everyone's free to love who they want.
I told you that's not it.
But since we're talking about the mask, I looked it over out of curiosity and found something pretty interesting. That mask isn't an ordinary accessory. It actually comes installed with a bunch of high-tech features. Infrared night vision, zoom functions, organic life detection. There's even a miniature air tank inside that allows it to turn into a gas mask. Using that air tank, the wearer can survive completely shut off from the outside world as long as 30 minutes.
That's amazing. It almost sounds like it'd be a waste to give it back to Eva.
You wouldn't be able to use it, Takumi. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. Ava's the only one who can wear it.
Guess I might as well give it back after all. With the best technology in the world, she can't possibly harm any of us from inside that cage, right? Tsubasa thought about it for a while before nodding in agreement.
By the way, when's she gonna give us more information about the enemy? She did promise to be useful if we spared her life.
Once I give her the mask.
I actually think it'd be best if we could get her to join us as an ally.
If I could use her in a fight, that'd be dope as shit.
Right?
An ally?
Yeah, so that she can fight in defensive battles along with us. We need some kind of safety measure before allowing her to cut loose, of course. Like a collar with a bomb, maybe.
Oh my fucking god.
That should put everyone at ease, right?
Calm everyone in your turn to die.
If she tries to run or do anything funny, all we have to do is to stop her is press the button to activate the bomb.
A bubble out of my mind as Tsubasa was speaking. Tsubasa, let's say there was already a self-destruction device in Ava's body. Would it be possible for someone else to activate it?
Depends on how the bomb was built. If the detonation mechanism was designed to be triggered remotely, then maybe.
Huh. In that case, your plan might actually work.
Yep, the detonator is on a joint on my left hand pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion. Wait, you were being serious? You weren't just speaking hypothetically?
No, it's a real thing. We're in danger. Do you think that's something you can do?
You want me to create a detonation device with the bomb inside her?
Yes, once it's done, we'll have the perfect safety measure.
And then we can allow Ava to join us, huh? Alright, I'll give it a shot.
Awesome, I'm counting on you. Let's fucking go.
Interesting.
After Tsubasa left, I went to look for Haruko to get the key from her. The Key that would open Eva's cage. Walked into the courtyard, her mask in hand.
You keep saying Eva.
I'm all over the place.
Eva. Eva. No.
Okay.
Takumi.
Here you go. As promised.
That's my mask.
It sure is.
It sure is.
Because now I've got you trapped and cornered like a dog. I opened the cage using the key Haruko gave me. After handing Eva's mask to her, I closed the door and locked it again.
You said it again.
Quiet.
No. Thank you, Takumi. I don't know what to say.
No need. Just keeping my promise. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Oh my god.
Turned around, giving a casual wave as I walked away. I'm back in my room, but now what? Boom!
God.
Oh shit! There's nothing for me to do here. May as well go take a walk around school.
Wow.
We've got free time in this one. We
don't have gifts, do we?
Well, we don't have gifts, and we don't have cloth. So probably a smart thing to do right now on this.
How do you
first
remember
day?
what you do and don't have?
Well, I remember that we ran out of materials in the last one, and you don't get those from. You have to go exploring for those.
Yeah, I know.
And over here, over here, it's on the bottom right where we have the things. And we only have 64 cloth, which was not enough to keep rolling for things forward. I could also potentially here, if I use the map, because we've got more points back and more allies, and go to the training room and start building some people up with their stuff.
Yeah.
Over here, like the people we started to leave out of the loop, like still leave you out of the loop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can be gone for quite a while now. But we can go ahead and develop these ones over here because they don't take up any of the. Ooh, that one would if I try and go farther. But these two can continue forward without using any materials at all because I want to save those up a little bit. Her stuff is just fucking. Could also try and learn life or death shot now that we've actually got her back on the team. That I can fucking fix something up. We don't know what stab an enemy, deal damage. User covers 1 HP. Doesn't even. Okay, it does 3 damage. Okay, I like that. Now we can build that up more.
What?
It takes material to do the next one on that one, so I'll leave that as is. Oh, bitch. All right. Yeah, you're still out of the loop on this one. Brought you up a lot. Kako brought up a lot. Shoma we can work on a little bit here.
Oh, did it keep the level ups?
Yes, because technically it's like it's kind of new game plusing a little bit on us. So every time we reset, because of our hemo anima, they kind of retain the knowledge from before.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, that way, even the case with our free time events, I believe that all is.
That's why I was shocked that you remembered how much cloth we had at this point in the game. I'm like, what do you mean?
No, it's because it all carries forward.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Craft support tower. Yeah, no.
Because I was like, how the hell do you remember that?
No, because it did the same thing and maintained all of our stuff from, the primary route. I think it's the way of helping you not have to, because if it took away all of your hard work that you did in one route,
you'd have to keep grinding over and over and over again,
and you'd lose all that time and progress, it would be pretty gnarly to do that. So
okay.
Kyoshika can get upgraded a lot.
Yeah, you would use her very often, and then she got, and you're like,
Yep.
man.
And a lot of the benefits from here is going to be getting mostly the voltage increase and a little bit of extra movement.
Yeah.
1 extra movement on those attacks there. But they'll help in the long run. Yugamu's up there. Moko. Haven't even touched you pretty much because every time we get you around, you didn't even get free time to be able to enhance your skills this time around.
Yeah.
By the time we did get that ability, you were already long since dead. Moko mania. It's fucking crazy.
Hype yourself up and get ready to run wild. Adds reflect to user.
Let her run wild on you, brother. All right. You need to get Jim up to be able to upgrade those more, but I believe that should be all to have us pretty much now kind of in line with things at the moment. But should take the day to go out on a
get more stuff.
short excursion. That way it doesn't take up our time
Yeah.
here. Here's to expiration. I miss you, son. You coming with us? Explore.
Let's go.
Biased.
All right, a little bit of cloth. Good bit of cloth, actually. That'll help us a lot. And yes, I am biased.
Because you have the controller.
Well, you know what? Next time we do that, I'll bring Yugamu on the team.
Heavy soldiers. You never will then.
Good night. I went to bed after an uneventful day. No, it only seemed uneventful.
What?
Something may have been brewing behind the scenes without me noticing.
What?
But since I had no way of ascertaining that, I decided to simply go to bed and embrace sleep for the night. That's not ominous at all.
Yeah, I don't like that.
How many days will it take for someone to die? That's the question now.
Oh.
Don't say that.
Get ready for your 27th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy.
So hyped.
Let's go. He really likes 27. What can I say?
27th day of active service here.
I woke up as the
He
morning
kept the same pitch.
I woke up as the morning announcement played and had barely finished when a piercing scream resounded in my ears.
Why?
Shoma? Jumped out of bed and dashed out of my room. Shoma?
Did Shuma find a dead body?
Shoma, Tsubasa, and Takamaru were out on the roof already.
Was that Shoma just now?
Yeah, I came running out when I heard it.
I was already here when she came out. The scream came from the back of the building. Are you sure? Trust me, I've got a dog's hearing. Okay, let's go. We made our way down the stairs as quickly as we could and headed for the back of the school.
Do you think Shoma's freaking out because of Ava? Something with Ava?
You know, I didn't think about that, but it didn't take long for us to reach our destination, where we saw...
Oh!
Oh, he got murdered in real time! After I upgraded you and everything. Damn, dude.
Huh.
Shoma!
I rushed over to check his pulse and breathing.
Nothing. He's dead.
The fucking slow zoom is killing me.
Uh-huh.
No way.
By this time, other team members had come running as well. It was Nozomi, Milko, Kyoshika, Yugamu, and Kurata. Are we missing anyone from that one? We're missing Darumi. Of course we're missing Darumi. Because if with it happening like right now, that helps give us an alibi to this moment.
Yeah.
Because the scream was heard and they caught us in our room. So they can attest that it wasn't us this time.
Yeah.
They gasped and their eyes went wide as they saw Shoma's body.
Shoma.
The killing game's back on the menu, boys!
Impossible.
Ooh, but it's a much more
It's much worse this time.
traditional
Yeah.
way.
Is he breathing?
No, unfortunately.
Get your act together. It's too early to give up.
Oh, the
We just
things.
heard him screaming.
Yeah?
He can't have been dead longer than 10 minutes.
But the whole point is that they stabbed him a lot to drain all of his blood so the human
Yeah.
animal wouldn't be there to revive him.
Right. We can use the Revive-O-Matic to bring him back.
Let's
Even
get
I
into the
didn't forget this,
infirmary.
guys.
Yes, but just one moment.
The hell?
Sir Ima, Lady Kako, and Lady Darumi have not shown up yet.
Oh, all three of them are missing.
Oh.
Okay, I thought my list was a little small, but Darumi was the one that stood out to me. 'Cause, you know,
You're right.
Maybe they woke up early and went to the cafeteria first?
maybe they're all dead too.
Even so,
Uh,
they should have heard the scream. Weird that they didn't come running like the rest of us.
yeah.
I'm joking, by the way.
This
I'm
isn't the
joking,
time to
game.
discuss that. Get Shoma to the infirmary now.
Yeah, I'll carry him there on my back. I don't know how to work the Revive-O-Matic, though.
I'll come with you. The rest of you can go look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi.
Got it.
Time to find a bloodbath. Takamaru put Shoma on his back and immediately ran off to the infirmary with Tsubasa. The rest of us then split up to look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi.
Uh-oh.
Since the person who attacked Shoma could still be lurking nearby, we split into teams for safety.
Who we team up with?
I partnered up with Hiriko. We decided to start with the cafeteria.
Oh yeah, we never found out how she knows about stuff.
Yeah, potentially. We made our way there as soon as we could, but there was nobody else inside. Ima, Kako, Darumi, anybody there? No response. Looks like they're not here,
Yes, let's try somewhere else.
unless they're trapped in the fridge.
I had that thought, but
Turning around, we dashed down the hallway toward the gym. When we got there,
What do you mean when we got there?
Hey, I can't open the door.
What? Is it locked?
Peered through the small opening in the slight ajar door. There's a latch. Someone latched the door from inside. Ruko and I looked at each other nervously, neither daring to breathe.
We're going to have to break the door down.
You're right. On 3. She does on a 1 on her own.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. The door refused to budge even after we threw ourselves against it numerous times.
Damn.
Soon the noise we were making started attracting the others to the gym as well. Moko, come on. We need some help here, guys. What we were trying to do was obviously enough that we didn't have to explain. Everyone nodded, took a couple of steps back, and prepared to charge the door.
And then it opens and we all fell.
Ready? Go! The latch broke apart with a cracking sound. We all tumbled into the gym together. And lying on the floor in front of us.
Was it all 3 of them? That's poison.
Why is there a bottle there?
This is...
Look at her mouth.
Did you fucking Juliet this?
Unbelievable.
I ran to Kako and put a finger on her neck. There was no pulse. She was deathly cold. Yuriko came from behind me and started examining Kako's body. But this should be able to do in the revive-o-matic.
Well, if she's... well...
Because the blood's not had anything done to it. Once she had finished, she turned to look at the others and silently shook her head.
But it's okay. She couldn't have been dead for too long, like Shoma.
Then we should take her to the infirmary now.
Now that we can't confirm.
Yeah.
She could have been dead all night.
Yeah, because she feels cold, so...
Nazumi ran over to Kako and lifted her up. That could be the difference maker.
Yeah.
As she did, something fell out from Kako's right hand.
That too.
What's this? A medicine bottle. TTX! By the time I noticed it, Nazumi had already run out of the gym carrying Kako's body. As the rest of us started to leave, Yuriko suddenly spoke up.
Wait, Yugamu, you go with Nozomi. Moko, Kyoshika, Kurata, continue looking for Ima and Darumi. And Takumi, you stay here.
What? Why? Why me?
Just do as I say for now. I'll explain later.
All right.
Let us be off at once.
The others nodded at each other and then ran toward the hallway, leaving only Hiruko and myself at the scene of the crime. Why only me?
There's only one exit here, and it was latched shut.
Is it time? Can we cross it off the list?
Cross what off the list?
It's not Kodaka if he ain't got a locked room mystery, baby!
Oh my god.
I turned to look at the exit. Lying on the floor nearby was a mop that had been broken into 3 pieces.
Well, I mean, Uchikoshi likes them too.
Yeah, but every single time. Every time!
I know.
Every time.
But look at Raincode. Look at, you know.
Well, Raincode was Kodaka.
Was it?
Yeah, Kodaka's Danganronpa and Raincode. Uchikoshi is...
I thought... But what were there...
is Zero Escape. Right? Yeah, Kodaka's the one that's behind Danganronpa.
Zero Escape and Somnium Files.
That's Uchikoshi.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was at least one locked room mystery for each of those games.
I mean, definitely not like we have here, but the mop had been used as a makeshift latch.
It would be impossible for someone to latch the door like that from outside, which means this incident happened in a locked room. Assuming this is true, there are 2 possibilities I can think of. Can you guess what they are?
If only there was a secret room in here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I answered hesitatingly. The first possibility is that that's why I was like, wait, hold on.
It's hesitantly.
But I'm pretty sure. Hesitatingly.
I know, but the proper term.
Yeah. The first possibility is that, as much as I hate to say it, Kako killed herself, right?
Oh. Yes. Look at the bottle that dropped from her hand. What does the label say?
TTX.
It's an abbreviation for tetrodox. Hold on.
Tetrodotoxin.
Yeah, okay. That.
Yeah, it's a complicated one.
There's a lot of consonants in there.
There really is.
It's extremely poisonous. Swallowing just 1 or 2 milligrams is fatal. Damn, milligrams!
Are you saying Kako drank this?
I don't know, but we'll have time to think about that later. I can't fucking read! The other possibility is the more pressing one.
Just like me, for real, for real.
Shut up. Your lack of brain cells is melting my own brain.
Yay.
Because if what? Because if Kako didn't take the poison herself.
It didn't take me long to make the connection. The killer is still hiding somewhere in the gym?
Yes, if there is a killer, that is. That's why I told you to stay behind.
All right, let's look around.
I mean, I guess they could have, you know, snuck up behind her, knocked her unconscious, and then poured the bottle down in her mouth.
Yeah.
Making her drink it, and then just put it in her hand.
Yeah. Or the bottle is a red herring of some kind, simply to put down the forward of the fact of it. I don't know.
Well,
but
there was
Brooke and
no
I
blood,
searched
and
the
she
gym
was
as
dead.
cautiously
And there
as we
was
could.
stuff coming out of her mouth, so...
Despite leaving no stone unturned, we didn't find
How else would she have
anyone
been
hiding
killed?
anywhere. Listen, you never know.
How else would she have been killed? Tell
Hey,
me.
when's the last time you played Danganronpa, okay? Those things are always convoluted for no reason. It makes it clear that Kako took her own life.
Yes, but there's always evidence. Does it, though? Shoma was found sliced up at the back of the building around the same time. Don't you find it strange that somebody killed him while Kako killed herself?
No, there's nothing strange about that if Kako had been the one to kill Shoma. After stabbing him to death, she ran into the gym, blocked the door with the mop handle, and ingested the poison to kill herself. Decided to state my opinion objectively, even though I really didn't want to say those words out loud.
Maybe, but that wouldn't make sense if Kako died before Shoma.
Huh?
Remember how Kako felt when you touched her body?
Sarah's drinking water. Yeah, she had already gone completely cold.
I noticed it too. It's probably been several hours since she died.
So, Kako killed herself sometime last night, and then somebody killed Shoma sometime this morning?
She didn't want to deal with her brother anymore. Or Kako was also murdered.
Damn.
That's a possibility as well.
How was that possible when the door was latched from the inside? Wait, there's something more important here. If Kako had already been dead for a few hours...
Yes, I'm afraid it's already too late for her.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a time limit too, remember? It's not just the blood.
Yeah, I know. Tsubasa, Nozomi, and Yugamu were in the infirmary when Haruko and I arrived.
Yeah.
They were standing around with grave looks on their faces. How are Shoma and Kako?
Well, we managed to successfully revive Shoma.
Go team! That's great!
Yes, what a relief.
But he's still unconscious.
His physical body's been restored to full health, but it seems he hasn't recovered mentally from the attack yet.
Where is he?
Sleeping in his room. Takimaru's taking care of him. And what about Kako?
We did put her body in the Revive-O-Matic, but...
Alas.
Yeah.
Haruko and I went behind the Revive-O-Matic to look at the monitor. What was written on the screen made our hearts sink. Cause of death? Respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. Estimated time of death? Day 27, between 1 and 4 a.m. Traces of TTX poison detected in body. Oral intake of TTX presumed to have led to respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. No external injuries found on body. Too much time has passed since death. Impossible to revive.
Damn. Nice that it gives us details.
It's almost like an autopsy report.
Yeah.
or the Monokuma pad or whatever the hell it was. It's a Toju tablet now. The silence of the room was broken by the door being thrown open and 3 people running in. Dharma, you're safe!
Where were you all this time?
In the rec room, playing slots.
You were doing what?
You can't blame me. I overslept this morning and didn't see anyone in the cafeteria. I just assumed that everybody was off doing their own thing. Kyoshika and I found her in the rec room and dragged her here. We've already told her about Shoma and Kako.
Still, we didn't yet know if they'd been successfully revived, so here we are.
Did it go well?
Just then, 2 other people barged into the room noisily.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Mr. Suzuki told me what happened.
He's gonna crash
I
out.
fell asleep in my dear sister's room last night, but when I woke up, she was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, cause like we've seen Kako crash out over Ima being dead,
Yeah?
but we haven't seen the reverse.
Yeah, and actually it's a good question of what was going on with Kako since
she
they were in
left.
the same room. She must have left at some point.
Supposedly.
I've been looking around for ever since.
I saw him running around the hallways like a headless chicken and brought him here.
Where's my dearest sister? What has happened to her?
Buddy.
I explained the situation to everyone who had just arrived.
I feel like we're about to get another CG.
The news that Kako could no longer be revived hit everyone like a ton of bricks. Tears started welling up in Moko and Kyoshika's eyes while Kurata was sniffling away under her mask. Darmi alone shed no tears. She had a vacant look on her face as she stared absently into space. And as for Ima...
No! 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 Dear sister! My dear sister! No!
With an anguished cry, the distraught Ima lost control of all reason and started lashing out.
Uh-oh.
We managed to wrestle him to the ground and pin his limbs down, even as he struggled violently.
Wait here while I go grab the gamma feel.
What's that?
A powerful anesthetic. We have some in the biolab.
You're so calm! Go, like he's a tired uncle.
He sounded slowed down.
Yeah.
He's like, hold
Wait
on.
here while I go grab the gamma feel.
He came back a while later with the Game of Feel, which he then injected into Ima.
Go to sleep.
The drug caused Ima to weaken and slump over. Yugamu observed him closely.
All is fine now. He's unlikely to wake up before tomorrow morning.
And then get ready for tomorrow morning now, too.
Yeah.
Sister, dear! And we moved the
God.
unconscious Ima to his room and assigned Moko to watch over him. The strongest of us all, please. After that, we took Kako's body to the morgue.
But what if he's like, was that a nightmare? Where's my sister? And then he crashes out again and it's like, oh, hold on, let me go
There were now 3
Damn,
bodies
yeah.
lying on tables in the morgue. Kako's body was the smallest.
Oh.
I kept staring at her. With my eyes closed, I could still see her innocent smile. Couldn't believe the girl I had thought of like my own little sister was now gone.
She was the youngest of everyone.
Yeah. An indescribable ache spread through my chest at that thought. Unable to stand the pain, I forced myself to look away.
Man.
After that, we went to the courtyard to check the cages. Ava was still inside hers, the door securely locked. Ruko and I went to tell the others what we'd learned from investigating the gym. The improvised latch, the bottle of poison, and how there'd been no one else inside. While we were talking, the sun had set and the darkness of night was slowly taking over. It was already evening. Since nobody was in the mood for a meal, we gathered in the leisure lounge instead of the cafeteria.
I don't think I would be hungry either.
Yeah.
Sir Takemaru, were you not supposed to be attending to Sir Shoma?
Yugamu took over. Shoma's still out cold, but he's physically fine now.
I just don't understand why Kako would kill herself.
As I've already explained, we don't know for sure that it was suicide. We haven't found a suicide note, not in the gym, on her clothes, or in her room yet.
But the gym door was latched shut from the inside.
And you didn't find anyone else in there, correct? Yes, but I find it hard to accept Kako had killed herself, when Shoma was clearly killed by someone else. Why would she even do such a thing? I won't be fully convinced until a clear reason surfaces.
I think she was murdered too, by that sponsor who was trying to get us to join the Invader Hunt. They did warn us this would happen. We all heard what that recording said, remember? All who refuse to join the game will be eliminated.
All who refuse? That means the rest of us are targets too.
You telling us that sponsor wants to kill us all?
The first threatening message said something about everyone dying too. It sure did! The first and second threats. We assumed they were written by different people because of the handwriting. But I'm starting to think it was the same person after all. We went against the first note. We ignored their demand to leave the academy and chose to stay behind instead. That gave the culprit an idea. I'll hold a killing game and force those guys to murder each other. But when we went against the second request as well, they decided they were going to have to do it themselves. And by it, you mean killing us? Yep, it all makes sense when you think of it this way, doesn't it?
That would mean the perpetrator has already murdered 4 people.
4?
Sir Gaku, Lady Kako, Sirei, and Sir Shoma.
Oh, yeah, Siri, I forgot about him. We don't
Though
count.
Sir Shoma was lucky enough to escape the jaws of death. So we're up against a ruthless serial killer here.
We can't just let someone butcher our friends and get away scot-free.
But how do we find them?
Haven't I mentioned this before? The killer may well be one of us.
So Shoma, trying to save his own skin after killing Kako and locking the door, went outside and stabbed himself in the chest as many times as he could before dying because he knew he'd get revived and that would get him scot-free off.
You think Shoma would do that?
Of all people, the one who hates himself the most? Yeah, I could see him doing that. Everyone tensed up at Haruko's words and
I
started
got
exchanging
flashbacks.
suspicious glances.
Why'd you have to do that to me? If you know, you know. Not everyone is a suspect, though. It would have been impossible for Takumi, Tsubasa, Takemaru, or me to have done this.
Ugh, how can you be so sure? Oh, that's right. The 4 of us met each other on the rooftop this morning, immediately after hearing Shoma scream.
And he was stabbed at the back of the building. Even if we could teleport, there's no way we could have appeared on the rooftop right after slicing him up that badly. He wasn't thrown down from the rooftop after being stabbed either. His body hadn't taken any fall damage if this were a game.
Fall damage! Just a moment. What if all 4 of you were working together?
Can you shut your damn mouth?
Yes, it would definitely seem possible from your point of view. That would also mean 1 in 3 of our team are killers. I don't think the SDU would be worth much then.
That line of reasoning isn't strong enough to prove your innocence.
Anyway, what were the rest of you doing at that time? Remember those who came after us were Nozomi, Kyoshika, and Kurata. Melko and Yugamu too, though they aren't here right now. Where did you guys come from?
I ran from the entrance hall. I simply found myself in a group as I was heading to the back of the building.
How did you know to go there?
Well, I heard Shoma's scream, and I chose to wait in my room first before making a move. Then I overheard you guys talking outside. You said something about the scream coming from the back of the building, remember? So I followed you to the scene of the crime.
Nozomi and Darami said the same thing, but I couldn't tell if they were telling the truth. Whatever the case, there's no denying the perpetrator could have joined up with the group halfway through without anyone realizing.
Your suspicions are misplaced, especially when there is a much likelier suspect to cast aspersions on.
There we go.
Jesus, these long words.
Yes, someone who didn't even show up at the crime scene. Huh? Wait, you mean me?
You were totally trying to get us all to join that stupid killing game.
So when we refused to cave after the second threat, you decided to... It wasn't me! I had nothing to do with that threat. I overslept, that's all.
We all shot Darami deeply suspicious looks. Her dismay and bewilderment were palpable. Beads of sweat rolled down her face, making her makeup run.
Hey, can I say something? I think it's counterproductive for us to be doubting each other like this.
That's what a killer would say!
How are we going to handle future battles if we can't even stay united? Let's calm down and think about things rationally. Under normal circumstances, the probability of the killer being an outsider is a lot higher than the alternative. But would an outsider be able to slip in without triggering the alarm?
Well, that's... Maybe it was Ava?
Impossible. We checked the cage just now, remember? She was still inside and the gate was properly locked. Not only that, I have the key right here. This is the only key and it can't be duplicated, as Haruko said. Also, I locked my door last night so nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was asleep.
What if you were working with her? I can debunk that theory. Takumi has been with me since morning. Even if he had let Ava out of her cage last night to stab Shoma, he couldn't have locked it back up this morning without my knowledge. You need the key to lock the cage just as much as you need it to unlock it.
That means it's one of us.
No, it can't be. There has to be a way for someone to come in without triggering the alarm. She's so desperate to have it not be one of us.
There's always a possibility that somebody slipped in at all.
That nobody.
Nobody slipped in at all. Nobody.
What are you saying? No?
I'm saying the killer could have already been hiding in the academy before the first team was dispatched here.
That's true. If they were here already, they wouldn't have triggered the alarm.
The 16th student, somewhere hiding in the walls.
So that person's still hiding somewhere in this school right now?
All of a sudden, Tsubasa
knows what
raised
she
her
was
voice.
saying.
I know. I can make an organic life detection device.
Organic life.
Detection device?
Put simply, it's a machine that detects the number of large living organisms on school grounds.
What about undead organisms?
It won't be advanced enough to pinpoint their exact locations, but having a precise number should tell us there's really an outsider hiding here. You can make something like that? I found a similar function while investigating Ava's mask 2 days ago. I took the opportunity. Stop breathing so much, Tsubasa.
That's what they do.
I took the opportunity to study it thoroughly. Girl!
All of her voice things are like that.
Like
Her little
fucking,
inserts.
Like, so yes, I can make something like that in 7 days, maybe?
7 days. Until then, let's stop being suspicious of each other like Nozomi suggested. We'll assume that the killer is an outsider until proven wrong. And no one is going to kill Tsubasa before the 7th day, right? What do you
God.
guys say? Everyone nodded in agreement. The moment I saw that, the world around me started to spin.
What?
What is this? That was the last thought on my mind before it shut down completely.
Huh?
I passed out.
What?
Day 39? Excuse me? That's not how far we were, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. What just happened?
Up and Adam troops, time! Get ready for your 39th day
We were in
of
like,
active service
we were on like the
here at
28th or something.
Yeah.
The 27th, 28th.
Academy. Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the Be ready to give your...
Oh, but what? This is a familiar sight.
Yeah.
I woke up to the now all too familiar sight of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. It was deja vu time. She noticed right away that I was awake and... Give me the scream. There it is. Leapt into her feet with an ear-piercing scream. She scuttled frantically around the room a few times more than last time before finally coming to a stop.
Does that.
And then she just stood there in a daze. I watched the entire scene play out before sitting up.
Reminds me of a small dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they freak out and get the zoomies.
What day is it today?
Day 39?
I fainted on the night of day 27, so...
Yeah.
I've been out for 11 days?
Yes, we're almost out of emergency feeding drips.
Why did I lose consciousness? I didn't get stabbed on day 27 and my old wound didn't reopen. Nozomi regarded me with a somber look on her face as I mumbled to myself. She then gave me the diagnosis.
We think you have the fainting disease.
Fainting disease?
Also known as psychogenic
Syncope.
Yeah, that. This is where Uchikoshi comes in.
We see you, buddy.
Yeah. A disease that causes you to suddenly lose consciousness after being exposed to strong psychological shock or stress. Like your mind just blows out.
Like a kid? I have a disease like that?
Yes, after what happened to Shoma and Kako on day 27. Your mind suffered a heavy blow. And even though you somehow made it to nighttime okay, the moment you felt like you could relax, your mind completely shut down, just like that.
How could you tell I had this disease?
This is the 3rd time you fainted out of the blue, right? And it always takes you a long time to regain consciousness. This didn't seem like normal behavior, so we decided to scan your brain using the Revivomatics diagnosis function.
I don't remember contracting any disease like that.
This is what the machine's analysis said. Traces of treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. Fainting disease likely developed as after effect.
Treatment on damaged parts of my brain?
I don't know what exactly happened. At any rate, the damage isn't life-threatening and doesn't affect your cognitive functions or your judgment.
We'll see about that.
So that part's nothing to worry about, at least.
Easy for you to say. This means I could faint again if something stressful happens, right?
Yes, but I'm sure it'll be alright. As long as we make sure nothing too stressful happens again.
So, has anything changed?
Changed?
Like, have you guys learned anything about the killer while I was out?
No, we haven't made any progress in that area. The unknown killer remains at large and we don't have a single clue to follow. Nobody's been attacked since then, so we're still alive at least.
Don't like that. What about Shoma and Ima?
Shoma's regained consciousness already, but He said he doesn't know who stabbed him.
Likely story.
You can ask him about it for yourself later.
And Ima?
He's barricaded himself in his room and hasn't said much to us. Just a word or two when we deliver food to him. Needless to say, he didn't fight in the defensive battle that happened on day 33. Ima, Shoma, and Darumi sat out the battle as usual.
Are those three still suspicious of me?
Yes, they seem to think you're the most likely suspect. But even if you weren't the one, it had been someone from the SDU. It had to be someone from the SDU. That's what those three believe. But what about the device that Tsubasa said she can make in 7 days?
I guess that went nowhere and revealed nothing, so Nozomi and I headed to the cafeteria together, where everyone except Ima, Shoma, and Darumi were gathered. When they saw me, they said things like, "You're awake," or "Thank goodness." Everyone was quietly rejoicing about seeing me on my feet again. Their reactions were a lot more subdued than before.
I just got whiplash.
I could hardly blame them. That was the third time I'd woken up after losing consciousness for several days. At least, that was what I thought. It turned out they had another reason to be despondent. The dark, gloomy aura that hung over the group indicated there was something more at play here.
Uh-oh.
I finished breakfast and returned to my room. Soon after, Tsubasa came knocking. Is it about Ava?
I don't know.
Well, we're about to find out.
You saw how dejected everyone seemed just now, right? Wanna know why?
Sure. She pulled out something from behind her back. That looks like it would belong to them. What's this?
Your organic light detection device. She made it.
Oh, right, you finished it.
5 days ago, yeah. But now I wish I hadn't.
Why not?
Because this is the reason everyone's jumping at shadows.
She turned the device on as she spoke. 13?
Yep. The total number of life forms in this academy. That's all of us, including Ava.
Which means there are no outsiders in this school and the culprit is really one of us.
Yeah, that's what everyone believes now, except for me and Nozomi, that is.
You two still think it was an outsider that did it?
I don't know, but the killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma, right?
The possibility of that happening seemed low to me, but I forced myself not to voice those doubts.
Anyway, that's why everyone's so down.
Basically, it's because they're all suspicious of one another.
This isn't going to end well. Without trust, we won't be able to put up a united front during the next defensive battle. Can't you do something, Takumi? I'll do what I can to help as well. Just tell me what you need. Oh, I just remembered. I finished that other thing you asked me to make a while ago, too.
What thing?
You know, the remote detonator that'll trigger the bomb in Ava's body. I managed to complete it after carefully investigating her body. With her consent, of course.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Tsubasa rummaged through her pocket and took out something that looked like a remote control. I took it and gripped it tightly in my hand. I pushed the button. Thanks! This puts me at ease. I'll probably add Ava to the team starting from the next battle.
Oh my god,
let's
please.
fucking go!
Yeah, that should help our combat power. The problem is getting the others to trust her. Oh well, I've done my part. The rest is up to you.
With that, she left the room. Up to me, huh? How should I do this? What was it Tsubasa said before? The killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma. To be honest, I didn't think they did. I had no concrete proof, but everything that had happened so far felt like part of a larger scheme that someone was orchestrating. At the very least, I was convinced the culprit wasn't going to stop at Shoma's stabbing. In that case, excluding myself, the killer must have been one of the other 12 students at this academy. No. Wait. Shoma was a victim. If Ruko, Tsubasa, Takamaru, and Ava were also innocent, that leaves just 7 suspects. Darumi, Nozomi, Kyoshika, Yugamu,
Nah.
Moko, Ima, and Karada. I'd never willingly choose to treat any of my friends as suspects, but as it turns out, I don't have a choice right now. I won't gain everyone's trust until I identify the real culprit. And if I don't have their trust, the STU would fall apart and everyone would be annihilated by the invaders. The only way to prevent that from happening is to reveal the identity of the killer. You must solve this future case yourself, Takumi. That's what the boy with the undying flame said. You must have known something like this would happen. At any rate, this is the only way to resolve all of this that I could think of. I have to find the culprit no matter what. I clenched my fists and resolved to devote myself to the investigation.
Woo!
And you know we're going to devote ourselves to that investigation? Next time.
Oh boy. I don't think it's Yugamu because, like, it goes against his whole thing.
Yeah, no.
Killing without, meaning.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And he said that he doesn't do that unless he gets paid. And he's not getting paid. So
yeah, I totally agree with that. I do think that with this route, it is going to go that classic murder mystery style to where we're not going to find out until the last second because it's going to be a fucking pile of dominoes of absolute unpredictable chaos. But I think this is going to be kind of, as you said, this may be a more appropriate, like, homage to Danganronpa and such.
Yeah.
By having all of these cases be convoluted for the sake of trying to solve the greater mystery of what happened / who done it. Because last one wasn't really a true killing game, so.
Yeah, I just feel like there needs to be a courtroom somewhere.
I can't wait to find out that we have the class trial coming up here soon. That'll be great.
Oh my god, please.
Please. Be crazy.
It would.